Hello, this is Franco, and today we're about to interview one of the hottest racing artists at the moment. He calls himself a pop icon, and the expanded version of his debut EP, House of Flamingo, has just dropped a few days ago. Please give a warm welcome to Greg August.
Hi.
Greg, should I call you Greg or August? Any of them is fine. My family and close friends call me August, but since I started dropping music, people call me Greg. So I respond to any of them. Well, then, Greg, today we're doing a track by track of your new EP. But before digging in it, tell us more about yourself. How did all of this start? Since I was a kid, actually, I was like 5 or 6 and I was already obsessed with music. Then at 9, I started watching TV shows on Nickelodeon, and my dream was to star in one and subsequently release music. And it was Miranda Crossgov's debut album, Sparks Fly, alongside Victorious, which gave me that little push that I needed to do my stuff. So you write music since you were 10? 10, almost 11. My lyrics were very simple. They were about school stuff and that kind of stuff. You cannot expect that much from a little kid at that time. That's inspiring. And from what I researched, I heard you released some music when you were at high school, right? Oh my god, yeah. I dropped 3 mixtapes when I was at high school. They were just on SoundCloud because I had no idea how to release music properly. Thankfully, I didn't release them properly. Right now, I'm proud of these songs, but at the same time, I'm aware that my lyrics and my vocals were still a work in progress. So I'm happy for that. Are these projects still on the internet? To be honest, I have no clue. I don't know if anyone in the world has saved those songs, but I personally deleted them all, and I don't think I will ever release them officially. So yeah, I don't think so. Okay, I respect that. Now tell us more about your new EP, House of Flamingo. Why did you choose that title and what does it mean to you? Well, it all started with my song Flamingo, which is kind of like a love letter to myself. In some way, it's a self-esteem anthem, and I wanted this project to reflect the same feeling. I call it House of Flamingo because it's kind of like an introduction to the side of me that people has never seen before, but it's actually me. That glittery pink side that I'm really proud to show right now. This is the concept of House of Flamingo. That's so beautiful. Now let's talk about precisely that song, the opening track of House of Flamingo, Flamingo. Well, as I told you, Flamingo is a love letter to myself. I wrote it after 2022, which was one of the worst years of my life, probably the worst year of my life. Nothing specifically happened, but mentally and emotionally, I was in a very dark place. So after that year, I wrote House of Flamingo as a promise of love and self-esteem. It was a promise to the only person that will ever be there by my side until I die, which is me. This is what Flamingo is about. It's not a love song. Well, it is a love song, but to yourself. And why did you name the song Flamingo since you don't mention any flamingos on the lyrics? Is it something symbolic or does it mean something to you? Absolutely yes. Flamingos are the animals that resonate the most with me, especially because they reflect some things that I was very ashamed of for so long. For example, flamingos are pink, which is a color that is usually related to femininity. Like, boys wear blue and girls wear pink. And for many years, I was very afraid to show my femininity. Now I'm really proud to look and behave the way that I want. Also, flamingos are skinny, and for so long I was really ashamed of my body. Right now I'm still learning to love it the way it is. And also, flamingos walk kind of backwards, which is similar to what I do. I don't like to follow much trending. I like to do my own stuff without caring about what anyone else think. Wow, that's so deep. Now let's talk about the second track on your EP, Crush. Okay, first of all, I gotta say that Crush is not about a specific person. Crush is about a specific feeling. The feeling when you have a big crush on someone, but that someone doesn't even see you or they don't even know you exist. It happened to me like 4 times, so I wrote this song about those experiences. The expensive salad, the Go Freak line, the yellow road, the maroon, which was originally orange, they're all references to past crushes that I had before. That's genius. Now let's talk about the music video. This is the first music video that you directed and you starred in as two different characters, am I right? Yeah. My initial idea was to hire my real life crush, but he's a model, so it will imply to pay him, and I have no money left. So I say, you know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do both roles. I'm gonna do Greg August and the crush. And that was the birth of the crush. The crush or the crunch. The crush eating crunch. Why isn't that song on the album? I think it's just because it's a joke song, a sequel to Crush. I don't really see it on the same universe as House of Flamingo. And also, I always wanted a song about Buster, so this was my opportunity. Now that you mentioned food, let's talk about the next track, which is Ice Cream. Ice Cream is probably one of the most vulnerable songs I ever written. This song is about eating disorders. As I said before, for so long I deal with my body image. People used to make fun of me because I was too skinny, and I learned to love that part of me. But after the pandemic, I started gaining a little weight, and then people started pointing that, like, you're not skinny anymore. And that made me feel extremely insecure about my body again. Last year, I started a diet that ended up in me starving myself. And the moment I noticed I was throwing up in the bathroom daily for a whole week, I knew this wasn't good for me. I feel like I knew that will be the beginning of my end. Do you still deal with body dysmorphia? Right now, not that much. At some moments, I still feel very insecure, but I think I'm still learning to love and honor my body. Then I'm really glad that you're in a better space right now, honestly. Now let's talk about the next track on the EP, FD with Global Pop. FD is a very dreamy, psychedelic, and obviously Kali Uchis inspired track. She's my Latina goddess, I needed to mention her. Now, if we talk about the lyrics, FD means farmacodependiente, which means drug addict. This song is about not being able to get someone out of your head because he's gorgeous. I went to a queer festival last year, and there was a performer who had three dancers, one from Chile, one from Venezuela, and one from Peru. And when John introduced the Peruvian one, he introduced him as the national product. So as soon as I got home, my man went like, Eres mi producto nacional. And the rest was pan comido. Such a cool concept. Now let's talk about Lowell Pop. How was it to work with him? Well, Lowell is one of my closest friends, and he's also the first person who I collaborated with. And I'm not talking about FD. I'm talking about one of the remixes for his song Cuerpazo, where I was very supported with each other careers. So the moment I wrote FD, I thought, what if I swap the second verse and include someone? And that someone was definitely him. Will you collaborate with him again? Well, yes. Actually, what if I tell you that we might have something coming soon? And we have it here on exclusive. Now let's talk about the final track on the standard version of your EP, The Exit. Tell us more about the inspiration behind this track. Well, as I said on the chorus, I lost my job. I went to work normally, and at the end of the day, all I knew was that that was my final week working there. And the pay wasn't that much, so I had no money left. I have no idea what to do. And the next day, I had my first performance for the first time in years. My makeup was inspired in the movie Black Swan, and that's how I got the chorus. I lost my job in the dead of night, draw out a line of black swan eyes. Alright, and did that experience also inspire the music video? Partially, yes. The video is about the contrast between my empty reality and my glittery fantasy. You collaborated with House of Droge and Factory for this music video. How was that? Definitely one of the best experiences of my life. Cici, Gator, and Agnes are my goddesses. The moment I saw That's a Beach music video, I thought I need the three of them in a music video. And that was the perfect opportunity, especially because this song is also about community, about how being surrounded by queer people in the drag scene made me feel empowered even though I had no money left and I had no idea what to do with my life. And that also applies to House of Droge, which is more than just a place, it's a refugee for queer people where art is always celebrated. I feel like both Droge and Factory really match with what I wanted to show in this specific track, The Exit. And well, I will always be grateful for them to be part of the start of my career. Oh, that's sweet. Now let's talk about the expanded version. Let's go with Kaleidoscope. Kaleidoscope is a song about duality, and even more than that, one of the things that I learned about myself during my whole life is that I can be more than just one thing. Whether if I'm talking about clothes, if I'm talking about music or emotionally, I can be many things. Do you have any example? Sure. For example, right now I'm giving you glam, I'm giving you furry pastel colors, but tomorrow maybe I wanna look like a rock star, and the next day I wanna look like a child, and the next day I wanna look like a whore. So that's the duality in me. I have many shapes. And that also applies to my music. This project is a little piece of everything I know I'm capable to do. Nobody knows it, but in my head, I already planned one more EP and my two first albums, and they all sound different. So this is the type of different shapes that I'm talking about because I don't need to box myself in just one style. I can try as many as I want because I'm a kaleidoscope. That's amazing. Now let's talk about silver. Why describe love as silver instead of golden? Because I don't look for perfection. Silver is my vision of love. What I look forward, which is someone real with good and bad, and especially someone who values and loves me the way that I am. Did you write it about a specific person? Well, not gonna lie, in my head I picture Mara Polo, which is my OG crush. But I think this song isn't about someone specifically. It's a song about love in general. It's a song about simply love and the hope to find someone that's silver. You're such a romantic. He's such a romantic. I am. Now let's talk about the final track on the EP, Primavera. Is it the opposite of silver or something? Not necessarily the opposite. I think it's more a song about blooming after feeling down. What was your inspiration? Getting ghosted. Getting ghosted by someone you once thought might have a connection with, but at the end of the day, going back to the concept of flamingo. Self-love, self-esteem, self-empowerment. Recognizing your worth and being able to bloom again. That's pretty clear and such a good way to close the EP. Thank you. Now, what can the world expect from you next? More music, definitely. I waited a long time to make this happen, so I have a lot of stuff coming. And I'm pretty sure you'll do amazing as you've been doing this whole time. Thank you, Greg Agus, for such a wonderful interview. Thank you for your interest. I really enjoyed it. And thank you everyone for watching. Remember, my name is Franco. See y'all on the next transmission. Bye!